3, 4, 5. Hi. How are you guys doing out there? Hope you don't ever care. All I wanna do is stare into the stars.
I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. What's up, y'all? What's going on, man? Hey, man, welcome to Kiaun Vents, episode number 2, man. I haven't done this show in a long time. I'm talking months upon months upon months. So, I definitely apologize for that, brothers and sisters out there, but man, oh man, it feels good to be back on the microphone doing another Kiaun Vents. This is a show, man, this podcast, brother, it has no, and I want to repeat, it has no construction, brother. I mean, it has no rules. All I'm going to do is just talk about what I want to talk about. Nothing is written. I got no notes. I'm just going off the cuff. And you know, I'm going to tell you this, man. I've been working so doggone much. Last week, brother, I mean, this is Saturday when I'm recording this, which is August 4th. I got to tell you, man, I literally was out all week. I did a 6-day week at work. I came out Monday, 2 a.m., stayed out until Thursday, and got back about 11 o'clock in the morning and came right back into work at Friday at 2 a.m. in the morning. So I'm going to tell you, brother, it has been a long doggone week. Man, oh man, but it feels good to be recording, man. And you know, with me being out on the road that much, it got me to thinking, brother. And I mean, maybe I told this story before, but on Kiaun Vents, man, this is just all my life, brother. This is just me. This is me giving you all of me, you know, every single time we do this show. So I was thinking about, back in my childhood, man, a lot of things happened in my childhood, man. Not all bad. I'm talking like really good things. Quite honestly, I was a pretty overall privileged kid for the most part. Yeah, we grew up in poverty at first. My parents, you know, we were in a tough neighborhood. I told you guys about that. Ask anybody in Baltimore about Edmondson Avenue and Appleton Street. They'll tell you that is in the center of the hood, brother. I'm talking, Gunshot City, baby, all the goddamn time. But an interesting thing about my parents that I just want to put out there. You know, they actually showed me a lot of things. You know, my parents, they had a goal. They would tell me their goals all the time, right? They would say, look, we're going to move out into the county, aka the suburbs, and we're going to move around in this specific area. For anybody out there, you know, I told you guys we moved to Walden Circle. And that's in the county. And after that, they were like, look, we want to buy a house. They bought a house where they wanted to buy it at. And they really showed me that, you know, if you speak things into existence, they can happen for you. They really, really can. I mean, we were on food stamps, brother. I was going to the store with funny looking money. You know, I mean, literally the money that I would get was brown. And it was red. And I'm like, man, this is some odd looking money. I can't understand it. My friends, their money is green. Our money is brown and red. What is going on? I ain't know it was food stamps, brother. I had no idea. But the thing is, you know, nowadays they mask it so well with the EBT cards and, you know, all of that stuff. It's like, yeah, you ain't got to be embarrassed at the register with your friends clowning you saying, ha, 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 you got a rejected dollar because it's red out this mother lover. You know, I mean, I had no idea. My parents didn't really tell me. I didn't know we were poor. That's the funny thing. I really didn't know we were poor. at the time, because when Christmas came up, man, brother, I got everything that I wanted. I had Christmases up until the age of 18. 18 years old, my parents was like, all right, you know, you're grown. Okay, you cut off. That is it. But out of, I would say about maybe, 13 Christmases, because I think I started getting stuff around 5 years old, I only had one bad Christmas, and I didn't get the Sega CD that year. That was the toughest Christmas of my life. I'm going to tell you, I woke up that morning, I was all excited and pumped, and nothing was there. it was a lot of stuff there, but the Sega CD just wasn't there. So, overall, my life, as a kid was great. I was able to get name brand clothes. I was able to get name brand sneakers. I was able to get, just, everything that I asked for. And I bring this up because a lot of people, they always talk about that, you can be a victim of your environment, and I disagree to a certain extent. If you want more for yourself, you'll go out there and you'll get more. That's the thing. You gotta want it for yourself, man. And my parents, seeing where they came from, where we started, to seeing where they had us end up in the end before they passed away, man, it was amazing. They really showed me that, hey, if you really want something, you can work for it and you can get it. But anyway, as I was thinking about my childhood, though, let's lighten up the mood. God dog, it's getting dark in this mother lover. But, as I was, just reminiscing, through those years, I started thinking about the first game that I beat. Now, I don't know if I shared this with you guys. Now, guys that are around my age, I'm 39, man. I'm getting old, baby. I'm getting old. My right knee is starting to hurt, kind of hurt a tad bit when I bend it a little bit, getting up out of chairs is starting to get, a little tough on me. I don't know, brother. Maybe I need to hit the gym a little bit more, and get myself back on track, brother. I don't know. But the thing is that, I remember having the Atari 2600. Man, me and that joker got some stories, brother. I remember playing a game, and I think I've brought this game up before, probably multiple times. A game called Adventure. So you brothers in my era, 39 years old, 40, 42, guys that are in my age bracket, that were gaming back in the 80s. Y'all know about Adventure, brother. Adventure is the game that Zelda took the blueprint from, because Adventure was amazing. You fought these dragons, different colored dragons. You had to find keys to open up gates and whatnot. And I remember back then playing Atari, most games just didn't end. They would just keep going, and going. Jokers would not stop going. And I remember my older brother, who actually got me into gaming. He is the reason. Him, my father, and my sister, they are the reason why I game to this day. I remember seeing him playing that game and thinking to myself, God dog, this looks amazing. This is so cool. I want to be a part of this. How can I hit the red button and move around and get the keys and all of that good stuff? And I remember he left one day to go to work, because he had the Atari first, and then my parents ended up getting me my own Atari, to myself, so I didn't have to share anymore. But, maybe not. I don't know. What I do know is they used to play, and I would get out so fast. They'd be like, yeah, here you go. Play the game. And, just to kind of shut me up for a few minutes, I would get out so quick. They'd be like, get that back. You up off of the sticks. Go back and sit on the couch and wait your turn again. And, I remember this one time, my older brother, he had to go to work. And I remember him saying, well, if you want to play, go ahead and play, cause I'm gonna be gone. So I'm like, oh man, it's my golden ticket. This is the Willy Wonka factory right now. I got a golden ticket. So I went on and got on the sticks. And I remember playing that game for seemed like an eternity. I kept getting out. Then I started getting the hang of it, started finding the keys, started getting through the maze, started opening up the castle doors and whatnot. I'm killing the dragons with the sword that looked like a doggone arrow that was pointing to the left. I mean, graphics were horrible. Check out the game on YouTube. You'll see what I'm saying. Adventure got dog. But, I remember, man, when I got to the final dragon, and I stabbed him, brothers. I stabbed him, right up in his stomach. In his stomach area, man. He was like, ugh, his head got cocked back, man, he looked, graphics was so bad back then, brother. Let me tell you something. This Joker didn't even look like a dragon. He looked like a doggone duck. If you look at the game today, that Joker looked like a duck. He didn't blow no fire. All he had to do was just basically touch you and you were dead, brother. That was it, man. But, after I beat it, I was like, oh my gosh, the game actually ended. When I beat him, the game was over. And I sat there and I said, holy cow, this is absolutely amazing. I can't believe that I was able to actually beat this guy doggone game. And I sat there, I told my brother when he got back home, it was the next day. Man, my brother, he was gone all the time, man. That brother was working. And I remember telling him, man, I beat it. I beat Adventure. This is amazing. I can't believe it. And he was like, yeah, I beat that weeks ago. Joker just dashed my whole dreams. But he was like, man, good job, though. Good job, man. Yeah, good job, man. And, I said, man, what a darn time. I tell you, the 80s, for me, being an older guy, almost 40, be 40 next year in January. For me, the golden age of gaming, not saying it was the best time for gaming, but the golden age for me personally was the 90s era, man. The 90s era, man, oh man, going to the arcade, having to play Street Fighter 2, or if you were playing Moonwalker, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker arcade game, which was amazing with the 4-player co-op, or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that was 4-player co-op, or the Simpsons game that was 4-player co-op, or if you wanted to go over the Sega side, play some Afterburner and really feel like you were really piloting a doggone, what was it, man? It wasn't a, helicopter. It was a doggone fighter jet. Man, it was just an amazing time to be a gamer. You could just imagine the potential back then. And even back then, having these arcade machines with the graphical fidelity that they were kicking out, we just couldn't fathom, games getting any better than this. And we're talking over 20 years later now, gaming is just, it is absolutely amazing what has been done in gaming now. And maybe that's why, for me personally, I don't really nitpick the stuff that some of these other gamers might nitpick at. And I come from the era when games were literally broken. Battletoads, brother. I'm talking Battletoads on the Nintendo Entertainment System. You guys want to talk about Dark Souls. Man, try to play doggone Battletoads, the old Nintendo version, and not lose a life. You try that on for size, mother lovers. God dog it. I remember playing, what was it? Rare Replay, and I was having trouble. That has a rewind button. And I was having trouble in the tunnels. Oh man, shoot, man. Games were meant for you to fail back then. You were not supposed to win. Some of these bugs that they had in them back in the day, you were not supposed to win, brother. But, nowadays, you got quality control. You got people that are play testing the games. You got, people that are doing, now something a little more new, not very new to the gaming industry, but still pretty new, them able to have the ability to make updates on the fly to a game, on a console. That wasn't always the case years ago, so it's just a different mentality for me. These gamers now, these kids, they were born in like the 90s, like 97, 98. You guys don't know the struggle of what guys like me and people my age went through in gaming, man. Good grief. It is a great time. It is a fantastic time for gaming. God dog, man. But, you know what? Shoot, bump it, man. I know this is Kiaun Vince, and this isn't the podcast or anything like that, the Analog Circle podcast. But, man, I would love to know, man, what was the first game that you guys ever beat? Was it, Super Mario Brothers? Was it Castlevania? Was it, let's think about some NES games. Kung Fu? Was it Ninja Gaiden? Who knows? Any of you new school gamers, maybe Crash Bandicoot was the first game you ever beat, brothers. I would love to know, what was that first game that you beat? Man, oh man. Well, you guys know that Kiaun Vince, these are not long episodes, man. I try to keep them between 15 and 20 minutes. So with that being said, man, I want you guys to call in. Tell me what your favorite, not your favorite, God dog it, your first game was that you ever beat. Call into the show at 443-216-9934, or you can email the show at the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. Guys, I'm about to get up out of here, man. But as always, it's a pleasure, and I do humbly say this and mean it. It is truly a pleasure to have the support of you guys that download the show, you guys that rock out with me, man. I gotta just, thank you guys, because without you guys, man, what is the podcast worth doing if nobody is listening? So I gotta shout out to Mr. Cody Clark, gotta shout out to Goose, gotta shout out to Mastino Davis. I gotta just shout out everybody that supports me. It means the world. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna get up out of here, man, and I want all of you people out there, all of you gamers, all of you great people out there in the world, be safe, man. Be careful, and until the next time when we come back, you guys be careful and take care. Man, I just messed that all up. I'm out of here, people.